Fantastic. All right, guys. Today is the day. We are gonna be talking about my empties. That's a lot of shit. I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to put this in a mesh thing because stuff falls out of here all the time, but you know what? Here we are. I know this may be kind of a long video, so I'm kind of just gonna speed through it, give you some quick little reviews, and I'm also gonna be talking about kind of what to do with the container afterwards. That's what I do in my empties videos. Just keep us, you know, aware of our waste and whatnot. First up, I have 3 of the Alba Botanica Very Emollient Body Lotion, and it is the Unscented Original. This is the best body lotion I've ever found. It's like $15 for this big thing at Target. It's so good. It's unscented. It doesn't irritate my skin. It doesn't have a weird smell to it either. It's just like there's not really any smell at all. Gives me lots of hydration. It's not too heavy. It's perfect. It is the perfect body lotion. I love that you can get so much for pretty cheap. And I use this pretty much every single night before I go to bed. And it's just lovely. And I highly recommend picking this up if you're looking for a good body lotion. The container is number 2 HDPE, which means it is recyclable. So basically I just rinse these out and clean them and then pop them in the recycling. I don't think you can recycle the pumps, but you can the bottles, so I just clean these out. You gotta make sure you're cleaning your recycling, friends, or else they won't do it. So yeah, that is my fave body lotion. This is really Adam's empty more than mine, and is the Fresh Soy Face Cleanser. This is like a cult favorite type of thing, but it's okay. So that's kind of what Adam has said, is that, you know, like, it's okay, it is gentle, it cleans your face, it gets the job done. I kind of understand why it has such a cult following. I've used it a couple times. It's nice. I don't think you need to pay this much for this type of cleanser. I feel like Cetaphil or like those types, or CeraVe, those types of cleansers do the same thing as this. But it is nice if you have it. Like I think if you buy it, you won't hate it, but I don't necessarily think it's worth the money, and he doesn't. My husband Adam doesn't really either, so that's that guy. This is not recyclable from what I can tell. A lot of squeeze tubes aren't, so unfortunately this does have to go in the trash as well. So yeah, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this one. It's all right, but I think you can find better things at the drugstore. Next up, I have the Not Your Mother's Clean Freak Refreshing Dry Shampoo. This has been a fave for a while. I'm trying to move away from doing the aerosol ones. So right now I have the Briogeo one, which is like a little squeezy bottle. But this is a great dry shampoo if you're on a budget. It gets the job done. It absorbs the oil. If you spray like a lot, it does leave a little bit of a white cast, but it brushes through pretty easily. And yeah, I've been using this for a long time. So you can actually recycle aerosol cans if they are completely empty. They can't have any excess product in them, so you just want to make sure that there's no product anyway. So for something like hairspray or dry shampoo, you can generally still recycle these, but just keep that in mind. Things like spray paint or whipped cream and stuff are a lot harder to recycle because there's not really a way to clean them, and the product inside itself is considered like a hazardous material. But for something like this, you can still throw this in the recycling bin in most areas. I would just check with your local department. All right, so I have 3 of the e.l.f. clear brow gels. This is my fave brow gel. It's the only one I'll buy. It keeps your brow hairs in place. One side is supposed to be like a clear mascara, and the other side is a brow gel, but I use them both on my brows. So good. It's like $2. It's like the perfect clear brow gel for me. So this is plastic, and I don't believe it's a recyclable plastic on the outside. But the wands, what I do is I'll clean them off. I just use like a dish soap, and I will either donate them to Wands for Wildlife. They take spoolies. You have to like clean them and wash them, so like mascara wands and stuff too. And they use it to help clean little baby animals. So that kind of gives them another life, which is good. But I also will keep some of these around just as like a kind of like a alternative to like a disposable spoolie, so I use them a lot for like Halloween looks or special effects, or even just kind of laying my brows flat, stuff like that. It's nice to just have some extra spoolies, so a lot of times I'll keep a couple of these around too after I clean them. There it goes. And yeah, I love them. Next up is the Kopari deodorant. I went through a whole thing of these. I love this deodorant so much. It's the only one I found that actually like works to help keep me not smelling gross throughout the day, but it also doesn't irritate my underarms. It's more of a natural deodorant. A lot of the really scented deodorants really irritate my underarms. I'll get like a rash. It's not fun. This one does not do that to me, and it actually works. I have been on a quest for deodorant for so many years, and I think I've finally found the love of my life. So thank you very much. The wedding is next spring, and yeah, that's all I have to say, really. This container, it looks like, unfortunately, is not recyclable. A lot of deodorant containers are not, so that is unfortunate. So Kopari, get your shit together, make this recyclable, because I love your deodorant so much. It just smells like coconutty goodness. They have a couple different scents. I have the coconut one, and it works really, really well for me. Next up is the Milk Makeup Kush Brow. I love this little brow gel. It's great for if you want to just throw a little bit of something in your brows. It just kind of helps to give some volume, texture. I really, really like it. It's got a nice little wand, very similar to like Glossier Boy Brow or Benefit Gimme Brow. But I really like it. There's something about it that I really, really enjoy. I ran out of this a little while ago. It's been a bit. But I absolutely love it, and I think it works really well on the brows. So if I just do a little bit of this and then like my Urban Decay brow blade just to fill in gaps, and it's good to go. The hold is decent on this. I still go in with my e.l.f. Clear Brow Gel afterwards, but if you're somebody that doesn't need like a super crispy strong hold, then I think that this will be fine for you. So yeah, I quite like this little guy. Again, this container is not recyclable. However, I will be donating the little wandy boy to Wands for Wildlife. So this mascara from Tarte. This is so funny to me. It has like a little outfit. I don't know if that's supposed to come off. Anyways, this is the Lights Camera Lashes from Tarte. I like this mascara. It's a great kind of everyday mascara. Gives you a little bit of length and volume, but it's nothing too crazy. The wand, I think, is pretty easy to use. It's nice and kind of small and long. I think if you get it, you won't be disappointed, but it's not anything to write home about. You know what I mean? It's a nice everyday mascara. I think that if you like something super natural that's gonna kind of stay put, that isn't going to be too crazy, you'll like this. I prefer my Marc Jacobs one or the Hourglass Caution mascara, but it is a nice natural mascara. It definitely gives you something. I just typically like something a little bit more volumizing, but I think if you like a really natural looking mascara, then you will quite enjoy this. And again, I will be donating the wand to Wands for Wildlife. I have something from First Aid Beauty. Oh, the Ultra Repair Cream. I think I use this as a body lotion. It's okay. It's nice. I use this at work a lot to put on my hands just to like rehydrate my hands. It's not too crazy expensive, but again, I think that I would go for this guy. I would almost use this as more of a hand cream because I think it is a little bit more hydrating than this one, a little bit richer. I don't think you need it. I think you can use this all over, basically, body and face. I think that there's better moisturizers for the face out there. And I also think there's still really good body lotions that are much cheaper, but it is nice. It works. It does really help, especially on like the hands and elbows and whatnot. So if you are looking for a really rich body moisturizer, you might like this. But I don't think I'll be picking it up again. It is fragrance free, so it doesn't irritate my skin, but it was just, it's aight. And this little squeezy tube is not recyclable either, so that has to be tossed. The Overtone hair mask. These are actually really, really nice. I find I dyed my hair like a lavender color. I did have to do it twice, but it didn't leave my hair feeling dry at all. It did work. The color held up for a few weeks. I think that these are a really cool product. I know there's a lot more kind of hair mask type products coming out. I found I used like a lot. So this got me through like, I think like the first one where I did it twice, and then like 1 or 2 more times as like a upkeep type of thing, and they are like $30 each, so keep in mind you do kind of burn through them really fast if you're trying to upkeep with a specific hair color. But I think they're really fun if you just want to like try something out. They do work well. They are nice and hydrating in your hair. So yeah, I really enjoyed these. And the pastel purple was really pretty in my hair too. This is number 5 plastic, which is recyclable in my area. I think there is a little, oh yeah, there is a little like styrofoam. Woo! There was like water in that. Oh dear, oh dear. Anyways, so there's a little styrofoam insert type thing that you have to pull out of there. But then after you do that, both the lid and the container are recyclable. You could probably also use these for, I don't know, like Tupperware or something. Probably not. Probably shouldn't use your hair dye for Tupperware, but you could use this for other things if you wanted to. I have plenty of containers though, so I'm just gonna pop that in the recycling. Next up is the, this looks horrifying. The Lush Shower Gel It's Raining Men. This has an awesome scent. It's the same one as the little exfoliating scrubby bar, which I love. This is a nice shower gel. Do you need it? No, but if you want something that smells good, that's not irritating the skin, that's nice and hydrating, but still kind of gives you that clean feeling, this is a great option. It's a good little gift. I got my husband a little set of this. He really likes this scent too, so it's a nice little shower gel. Again, it's nothing like too crazy amazing, but I think it does work well. Leaves your skin nice and soft and hydrated, and it smells really, really good. And this is number 1 plastic, so I will be popping that in the recycling. Oh, they put both the bottle and the cap on here. That's nice. So the bottle is 1 and the cap is 5. So number 5 plastic, I think I said this earlier, is recyclable in some areas. It is in my area, so just check again with your local department or whatever. So that's gonna go in the recycling. Next up is the Biossance Squalene Omega Repair Cream. This thing is so tiny, so I mean, I didn't really get a good read on like long-term results, but it did feel really nice. It wasn't too heavy. I think this would work well on any skin type, and it was super, super hydrating, so I really enjoyed it. I would be curious to try out like a bigger size to kind of really go through it, but I think if you're looking for a nice like moisturizer that's not too heavy, but that's still going to give you a lot of hydration, I think this is a good option. And I really like the Biossance stuff, the squalene. It's a plant-derived squalene, I think from olives, and it's super, super hydrating and nice. So yeah, not much to say about this, honestly. I feel like I didn't use it enough to really get a good review, but I did enjoy it while it lasted. This container, which is just a little sample size, so it appears to be plastic. The way you can tell is if you can scratch it with a knife or scissors in my case, that means it's plastic and not glass. Glass you can't scratch with a knife basically, and there's no recycling indicator on here, which means that it's likely not recyclable. So this unfortunately is going in the garbage. I have the Drunk Elephant Protini. This is a wonderful moisturizer. I think this is one again that can work on pretty much any skin type. It's like a kind of gel formula. It's got peptides in it which do help to strengthen the skin over time. I did notice a difference when I was using this. My skin was really soft and hydrated. I like their Lala cream too, which I also have an empty of. But yeah, this is a wonderful, just if you need a moisturizer that's going to do like a little bit extra, you don't want anything too heavy, but you still need good hydration, this is a good option. So it is like an airtight container. So basically you just press it down and the product comes up. Mine's completely gone. With these ones, you can kind of open them up and take them apart so you can see how much product you have left. See, I'm absolutely out of this one. But these are not recyclable. And just, why, Drunk Elephant? Why? I don't know what type of plastic they use, but there's no type of indicator on here, so that makes me think that they're not recyclable. And I think for like a clean line, I think that that should be a little bit more of a focus. So I wish their packaging was more sustainable. I do get it. It's that airtight pump to kind of keep it sanitary, but I still think there's a way that they could make it a little bit better for the environment, but it is a nice moisturizer if you're looking for a good one. I also have their Lala whipped cream. This is the original formula. They have a new one, which I'm working through now, that has ceramides in it as well. It's very similar to this one. but it just has those ceramides that really helps to kind of lock in moisture a little bit more. This is fantastic for dry skin, really gives you some deep hydration. It still doesn't feel super heavy on the skin, but it's just a good hydrating moisturizer and just kind of locks everything in there. My skin feels super soft when I'm using it. So yeah, I really enjoy this one, and I like the new formula as well. It's very similar, it just has those added ceramides. Same deal with the packaging, it's that airtight pump again, so you can't recycle these unfortunately. But the product itself is really nice. You could potentially reuse these ones. The new packaging is different where this doesn't pop off, but I suppose you could kind of use this as a jar, or you could fill this up with another product. Maybe this is, yeah, it doesn't push back down, so you could use it just like as a jar like that and just take this thing out, but unfortunately it's not recyclable. Next up, the Drunk Elephant Marula Oil. This is great. It's a really nice hydrating oil. I like it a lot. I've used it many times. However, it's the same thing with the packaging. These are not really reusable. I don't think you can take this off and like reuse it as a pump. It doesn't have an indicator of what type of plastic it's made out of. So that kind of sucks, you know? However, the big size is, I think, like a glass bottle that you can recycle. I'm not 100% sure, but it is one with like a dropper, and I'm pretty sure that one is recyclable. So the full size is, I have been using the Youth to the People oil, the goji berry oil thing. Anyways, I like that one quite a bit. I think I like that one a little bit more. It's a little bit more lightweight than this one, but they're both super hydrating and nourishing. I just like, I wouldn't waste your time with the little guys because they're not very sustainable. I would just pick up a full size. They do have two different sizes of the full size. So yeah, these are going in the trash. Okay, so I have 3 little guys of the B-Hydra Intensive Serum. I like this one quite a bit. It's a really lightweight hydrator. I would say, for me, with my dry skin, I find an oil makes more of a difference than a hydrating serum. But if you're oily, I think you would love this because it's super lightweight, but it still gives you some good hydration. It's great to mix in with some of like their more active stuff, like the C from a Day Serum or the retinol or something like that, because it kind of calms it down a little bit. But yeah, it's really nice, just hydrating, easy serum. I think if you're dry, you're much better off getting like a really nice moisturizer or oil or something like that, or something a little bit more hydrating than these. But I think if you're oily, or combination, you would really like these guys. And same deal with these little packagings. Their big one is like an airtight one as well, which you can't recycle. So that's just something to keep in mind. I have one of their Shaba Complex Eye Serum. I think I mentioned this in a last empties too. I don't know. I do like this. I do find it does, like, over time especially, kind of help the under eye to stay hydrated. It doesn't feel super hydrating when you put it on. I know it's doing something, but it's like, it's more like a long-term benefit type of thing. It's not immediately like, ah. So it's not my absolute favorite. I think it works. Again, if you're oily, I think you would really like it because it's so lightweight. Dropping things again. But same deal with the packaging. I think the full size is one of those airtight. Oh, I have a full size. Fantastic. Things are going well. Looks like I actually do have a full size as well. So yeah, the full size is that airtight pump again, which again keeps it sanitary, which is cool, but again, it's not super sustainable. So yeah, that's that guy. It's a sight. There are some old empties in here, guys, okay? I have 2 of the Catrice setting sprays, which are completely destroyed. I have one of the Dewy Glow and one of the Multi-Use Fix spray. The Dewy Glow is nice. It gives you, again, that like dewy look. I think it works really well. It's been a while since I've used this. It's like the bottom of my empties bin. But I do really like it. It's a couple bucks, so I think it's definitely worth it if you just need something to give you that little bit of a glow. I don't really use dewy setting sprays anymore. I just use like my Urban Decay All Nighter, and then because my base is already so dewy most of the time that I don't really need it. But it's great to put over like a more matte foundation if you're looking for a dewy setting spray, and it's pretty cheap. And then the Multi-Use Fixing Spray, this one was okay. I think it did give a little bit of a glow. I don't really feel like it made my makeup last longer. So I would say if you're going to pick up one or the other, I'd definitely go for the dewy the dewy spray. These bottles, it's hard to tell because they're so worn. Oh yeah, okay, so you can't remove the top, which makes me think that they are not, can you? I think if you really pried it off, you could, but you can't really remove the top, which makes me think that they're not recyclable, because normally you can't recycle like the pumps. I don't see any indicator on here. Again, they're pretty worn, but yeah, I think these have to be tossed, unfortunately. I also quite like the NYX Dewy Spray. That one is recyclable, and that one gives you a nice dewy glow. Not as much as the Catrice, but it's still good. And that one you can unscrew and reuse as well. Next up is I have a mini of the Hourglass Extreme Caution Mascara. I think this is pretty similar to just the regular one. It's just like a mini size. I don't know. I really like this mascara. It looks really nice. It gives you some volume, some length. It holds up really well throughout the day too, which is nice. You don't get a whole lot of smudging, which is great for it not being a waterproof mascara. Really, really nice. Doesn't flake or smudge. I think it gives like a good amount of volume and length. It's not as much as like my Marc Jacobs one, but it's definitely more than like the Tarte one I talked about earlier. So it's a good kind of in-between mascara. Works well with a primer if you want to amp it up, and it wears really, really well throughout the day. I also like the wand. It's kind of like a tapered wand, so it comes to a point almost, and it's really easy to kind of get in those little nooks and crannies. So yeah, I think it's a really, really nice little mascara. So I think this is perfect if you want something not waterproof that's still going to hold up really well throughout the day. So again, I'm donating the wand to Wands for Wildlife. More Drunk Elephant, oh my god. Okay, so I have two of the Umbra Sheer Physical Dailies Defense Sunscreen, and I have one of the tinted sunscreen. They're both great for sun protection. They work really well. They feel nice on the skin. They're hydrating. I will say if you use them with like a thicker moisturizer, they do kind of pill up a little bit. I usually just use them with a really lightweight moisturizer and an oil in the morning, and that works really well for me. They're all 20% zinc oxides. The physical sunscreen is going to be reef safe and SPF 30. So these are great little guys. Same thing with the packaging. The full size is like a bigger squeezy tube. I'm not 100% sure about that one, but these do have to be tossed. They're that kind of like twist up airtight type of seal. I much prefer the tinted one. I think that if you're gonna buy any of these, I would definitely do the tinted one, not the regular one. I think you can find stuff like this at the drugstore. But the tinted one I think is pretty unique because it doesn't give you that white cast. For me, it gives me like a little bit of a kind of bronzy glow. So I've really been liking this one in the summer, and I'm sad that I'm all out of it, but I would definitely go for that over the original one. The Flower Beauty Seal the Deal Long Lasting Setting Spray. I quite like this. It has such a fine mister. I actually just picked this one up for my kit as well. Not this one, but another one for my kit because it really works well. It's very similar to the Urban Decay All Nighter. If you like that one, I think you'll like this one. Because it really does help your makeup stay on throughout the day. And the mister is a lot finer, so it's super, super nice to use on clients. So yeah, I quite like this one. And it's also a lot cheaper than the all-nighter, so I definitely think this is a wonderful alternative. This is number 1, so this guy is recyclable, so I'm gonna rinse that out and pop that in the recycling. You could also reuse this one because it is a screw off and it does have a nice mister, so yeah. I do remember towards the end, the mister got a little bit funky and it kind of broke. So mine I probably couldn't reuse. So that's something to keep in mind. Got a little bit like leaky and weird, but it works really well for the majority of its life. Next up is a brush cleaner. This is the Makeup Brush Cleansing Spray from Sonia Kashuk. It says it has a rosewater scent. I don't remember. It smells fine. It doesn't smell like a super strong alcohol. It smells pretty nice. This worked. It worked well. I don't think it's unique. I think there's a lot of brush cleaners like this on the market that you just kind of spray on, wipe it off, and you're good to go. But it's nice. It works. I think that if you're gonna go for drugstore, see if you can find the e.l.f. one, because that one, oh, I have it right here. The e.l.f. brush cleaner is another fave. So this one is just a couple bucks and it works just as well as this. I think it's just cheaper, but they both work really, really well to clean your brushes. I think you might get a little bit more product in this though, so that's something to keep in mind. Oh wait, no, it's the same. yeah, 2 ounces in both. So this one's a little cheaper. They both work great to just do a little spot cleaning on the brushes. They are both #1 plastic, so you can recycle both of these as well. So I'd go for the e.l.f. one if you can find it, but it is kind of tricky to find sometimes, so they're both good options for brush cleaner. Next up is the Murad Night Enzyme Fix. I actually quite like this. It's kind of like a last step. So after you have everything else on, you put a little of this on and just kind of helps seal everything in. I actually did notice a difference when I was using this. I feel like my skincare was really like sunk in, and I feel like my skin was softer, more hydrated. So I think it does definitely work. I don't think it's 100% necessary, but it is a great hydrating serum basically. I used it as like a last step, but you could use it like before your moisturizer. You're still gonna get the benefits from it. Again, I would invest in an oil over this if you're gonna do one or the other, but if you wanna treat yourself a little bit and get something like a little extra, this is quite nice. This container is like a airtight pump. Again, that keeps the product nice and active, but it also means that this cannot be recycled. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind as well. So I'm gonna toss that guy. I have a blue mascara from NYX. This is the NYX Color Mascara. I didn't love this. I don't feel like it did very much, and it just got old, so I'm getting rid of it. I didn't really use it up. It says you can recycle this. I guess you could kind of like rinse this out and kind of use the wand to like scrape out any products. It's kind of going to be a pain in the butt to wash out, but I will definitely try, and then I'll donate the wand as well. So yeah, I didn't love the product. It's not like enough pigment for a color mascara. It just kind of lightly tints the lashes. So if that's what you're looking for, you might like it, but I think it just didn't work as well as I wanted it to. Oh, Physicians Formula Eye Booster. This is a great eyeliner pen. This is what I used for years. I have some other ones that I just got in gratis that I'm just kind of using up. But this is a wonderful eyeliner pen. It's nice and black. It's a really nice thin brush tip. It goes on, do you hear that? Brush tip. It's a really good alternative to like tattoo liner from Kat Von D. It works really, really well. Get the ultra black and not the regular black, because that one's not as black, or so I've heard. I know the tailor talks about this all the time. And for good reason. It's a great one. I find it stays on pretty well throughout the day too. So yeah, definitely a good little guy. None of these eyeliner pens are gonna be recyclable. I haven't come across one yet that is, so unfortunately this does have to get thrown in the garbage. The Sephora Collection Hydrate, what is this called? Hyaluronic Acid Moisturizer. I love this stuff. It's really, really hydrating. It's very lightweight, so I think it would work well on any skin type. It's got the hyaluronic acid in it, and it just works really, really well. It does give you a little bit of a glow, but not too much. It's so lightweight. It's great under makeup. I use this in the morning, like pretty much every single day, and I actually just bought another one for my kit because it works so well in my skin prep because it's so lightweight. It doesn't pill up or mix weird with any other products. It works amazing under makeup. So yeah, if you're looking for a good little lightweight moisturizer, this is great. It's not too expensive either. This is part of their like new clean line. I think the full size is like 16 and then the mini is 9. So yeah, I think this is a fantastic little product. The packaging is that squeeze tube, so and there's no plastic indicator, so that means it is not recyclable, but it is a good little product. Next up is the Belief Aqua Bomb. This is like a lightweight gel moisturizer. I actually like this quite a bit, even though I am drier. I still feel like it gave good hydration. I do like something a little bit thicker for nighttime, but this is a good like daytime moisturizer too, and I think it would be perfect for oily skin. So it didn't irritate my skin. There's no crazy fragrance or anything like that. So I do think it's a good little product, especially if you're oily or just want something really, really lightweight. This is a little like sample size. I don't know about the full size, but this one is not recyclable. I think I got this in a little gift set or something like that. But yeah, it's a good product. I think I prefer like the Protini to this in terms of hydration, but it's not bad. I think if you get it, you won't be like super disappointed. The Smashbox Primerizer. This is a fave. I really like this one. Again, it's so lightweight. So it works really well under makeup. It works really well as a mixer too. I also use this to like clean up winged liner and stuff like that. Works great as kind of like a quick little makeup remover. So I really like this. I have one in my kit. I use it every time I do someone else's makeup. I don't use it so much on myself anymore just because I usually prep my skin with like an oil and a sunscreen and all that. But I use this a lot on clients, and it's great if you just need a good hydrating primer. I think it's a lovely little product. Just makes your skin feel like so plump and nice, and it's great for mixing and other things as well. This is their sample size. I think the full size is a glass bottle, but I'm not 100% sure. But this little guy is plastic, and I see no indicators, which means it cannot be recycled, unfortunately. So that's a bummer. So I think you might as well just get the full size. I think it's a better deal anyway. Or actually, it might not be. I heard that it's not, but which is weird. But anyway, I think that one's a glass bottle. So yeah, anyways, that is being tossed, but it's a really great little product if you just need a good hydrating primer. Next up is the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Eye Cream. I did not like this. The big reason is because I think the vitamin C is just too strong for my under eyes. So when I would use this at night, I would wake up with these weird dry patches under my eyes. It didn't do it like the first couple times I used it, but then over time I started getting these weird patches, and then I stopped using it, and lo and behold, it was this guy. I think I'm just too sensitive for it. It definitely does brighten. You can kind of see it immediately when you put this under your eyes. It makes you more awake. So it is a good kind of morning one, and it does kind of give you that instant gratification. I just think if you're super dry or sensitive, you should probably stay away from this one. But you might like it if you're not sensitive, because it does definitely brighten. I think it works. It's just not for my little sensitive under eyes. I just need something that's more just going to be hydrating. So the container is #1 plastic, so it can be recycled. So I will be doing that and sending it on its way in the recycling. Okay, I've got a few more little goodies in here. I got one more skincare item. This is the Cora Organics Noni Face Oil. This is a lovely little oil. I pretty much like any hydrating oil that doesn't break me out. So, I mean, maybe I'm not the best person to ask, but I do find that this gave me a lot of hydration. It was great under makeup. It was great at nighttime. So yeah, this is another option for a little oil. I would honestly just go in and get samples if you're looking for an oil of a couple different ones and try them out, see which one you like best, see if any of them break you out. But this didn't break me out, and it was nice and hydrating, so I did quite like it. This bottle is recyclable, so I'll be popping that in the recycling after I rinse it out. Ooh, the Catrice Camouflage High Coverage Concealer. This I've had for a long time, and I think I finally just decided to get rid of it because it's probably really expired. I actually like this. It is a more matte concealer. I have to use my Becca Under Eye Brightener underneath to give it that hydration, but it's got really good coverage, and it feels lightweight. So I think if you're more oily, or if you just have a lot to cover, you might really like this, and it's a good drugstore option. On its own, it's just like a little bit too drying for me, but it would be still a good spot concealer, I think. Just gonna kind of depend on your skin type, but it is a good drugstore option if you want something that's high coverage, long lasting, kind of on the more matte side. So yeah, I think it's a good option for me. I just had to make sure I really hydrated the under eyes and added that little Becca thing, but that combo was like my go-to for a long time. So I do really like this little concealer. There's no plastic indicator, which means this is not going to be recyclable. Pretty typical for concealers, but yeah, that kind of sucks. Next up, ooh, the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara. It's like completely rubbed off. Also, its little jacket is coming off too. So when I first tried this mascara, I actually have a video of me doing a first impressions. I didn't love it. I thought it was kind of too wet and heavy, but I let it dry out for like a week or so, and then I liked it. It gives your lashes a very nice little fluffy look. It gives you some volume, but it's not like it's a different kind of volume than you're used to. It looks really natural still and pretty and like fluffy. Works well with a primer, so I really enjoyed this. Again, it's a good kind of like the Hourglass Caution. It's a good kind of in-between one. I find it does smudge a little bit. It doesn't flake, but it does smudge a little bit. Not as bad as my Marc Jacobs one, which I love so much, but it does a little bit, so keep that in mind. They do have a waterproof version too. I haven't tried it. I don't know if it's like exactly the same or not, but You may want to try that if you need something more budge proof. The wand is kind of looks like a traditional mascara wand. It has little heart-shaped fibers in it. You can't really see them, but that just helps to add kind of volume and texture. It also has CBD oil in it, which helps to nourish and condition your lashes. I did find when I was using this over time, I feel like it helped my lashes like grow and stay healthy. It's nothing extreme, like it's not like a grande lash treatment, although they do have a new treatment, which I'm curious to try out, but it does help. I feel like it's not as bad for your lashes as a lot of other mascaras, but that's kind of just speculation from my own experience. But I like it. I think it's a nice good like everyday mascara. Again, I'll be donating the wand to Wands for Wildlife. Oh my god, I have so many mascaras. The Tarte Man-Eater mascara, it's been so long since I've used this. This is at the bottom. This is why I need to do my empties more often, because I forget. I think this one is okay. Good for like separation and length, but I think this did flake pretty bad on me, so it's something to keep in mind, but meh. Okay, I have one more skincare thing, I guess. The Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. I just got a little sample. It was like a deluxe sample from Sephora with the points thing. This is actually fantastic. It's a really great hydrating mask, good for nighttime. I think there's other ones out there that are also good, but I do think it lived up to the hype, man. It was really good. It helped my lips. I used it like morning and night, kept my lips hydrated all day. Now I've switched back to just using Aquaphor, which honestly works just as well, but if you want an actual mask, something that smells nice, this is a good option. This little sample size does not have any plastic indicators, which means that it's not recyclable. I think the full size again is glass, so that one might be, but it definitely works. I think it's worth the hype. Okay, I have another mascara. This is the Pixi Lower Lash Line Mascara. I liked this at first, but it really doesn't do a whole lot. If you have a lot of intricate stuff going on down here, it can be nice because you can just get in there really quickly and kind of get it. And the point is that it's really precise, and so you're not going to get mascara everywhere, and I think it does that. I think for me, I can get in there just fine with a regular mascara wand or something like the Tarte wand that's a little bit skinnier. I don't really think this is necessary. If you have a really hard time with putting mascara on the lower lash line, it's smudging or getting everywhere, it might be worth trying, but I don't really think it's a necessary product. Okay, next up, Urban Decay Brow Blade. I love this product. I've actually gone through another one of the pen. I still have some of the pencil left. This is so nice. It's easy to get those fine little hair strokes. So when I do my super fluffy brows, this is the one product that I always reach for now. The pencil itself is nice too. I don't use it as much anymore, but it's just like a good kind of brow wiz type thing. Only thing I don't like about these is the shade range, because the taupe one works well. It's nice and neutral. So does the neutral Nana and dark drapes if you have darker hair, but everything in between pulls super orange. So unless you have red hair, just stick to kind of the ends if you're looking for a good color. But I love this little pen. It works really well. This packaging is not recyclable. None of these brow pens or pencils are, so that's something to keep in mind, but it is a great little product. Something similar, a little drugstore alternative, is the Catrice Brow Definer. This was the first like pen I got, and I find this one works really well. I think the brush tip is a lot finer on the Urban Decay one, and something about the packaging keeps it nice for longer. This one's like a little bit frayed, but this definitely does the job if you want a drugstore alternative. With any of these, just make sure you store them with the cap down so that the product can actually get into the brush, but this is a good little drugstore alternative. I just don't find it gives quite as fine hair strokes as the Urban Decay Brow Blade, but it still works. And again, this packaging is not recyclable. None of the pens really are. I wanted to talk about a few other products, which I don't actually have a container for because it was part of the Lush Naked line. So I tried out a few things from them that don't have any packaging. You can like bring your own container, or they have like little paper bags you can put it in. But I tried their little, I think it's called the Little Pot of Energy. It is a solid lotion. So it basically, I don't know if you can see, I'll insert a picture on the screen. But basically it's just like a solid body butter kind of, and there's no packaging to it. You just kind of rub it on and then rub it in. I liked it. It was really, really nice and hydrating. I think it'd be great for winter time. I loved it on my legs, but it was just a little bit heavy for every day for me. I feel like I do sometimes get a little bit of body acne, so it was like just a little bit much. It smells amazing. The fragrance didn't irritate my skin either. It's more of a natural fragrance, but I prefer the feeling of this guy on a day-to-day basis. It's just a little more lightweight. But I do like this. I would buy it again to use as just kind of like a once a week thing or just on my legs because I did like the feeling of it. And I love that there wasn't any packaging to it. So it is I think it's worth trying out to see if you like it because it is a much more sustainable way to do like a body lotion. I just think it was a bit heavy for me. So I'm hoping they come out with a little bit more of like a lightweight version or something like that because that would be really cool. But I did enjoy it. I went through 2 of them. I liked it. I just think I need something more lightweight on a day-to-day basis, but it is something I would use like once a week or just like when I'm feeling extra dry and stuff like that. So I tried a couple of their soaps too. I tried what I believe is the parsley porridge, which is like it has parsley in it and also has tea tree oil, which help to are a little bit antibacterial. So for me, I like a little bit of a stronger shower gel. I don't like anything too scrubby or exfoliating, but just something that has that kind of antibacterial property because like I said, I do get some body acne here and there, and when I use something like that, it really helps. I really enjoyed it. It does kind of give you that kind of squeaky clean feeling, but I don't really mind because then I go in with a nice body moisturizer. My husband felt like it dried out his skin though, but he doesn't like do a body moisturizer every day. So that's something to keep in mind if you don't like doing a body moisturizer every day, which you should. But anyway, I digress. You might not like it because it can be a little bit stripping, but since I go in and hydrate after anyway, I really enjoyed it. I felt like it really got me like my skin clean and everything. And again, there's no packaging to it. You can bring your own bag or you can get one of the little paper ones. They do kind of wrap some of them up. You can also ask them to just cut one. And they do have some that are just like standalone there when you go in store. I would recommend going in store for those things because if you order it online, it's kind of defeats the purpose with all the packaging and stuff, but I think if you can find a store near you, it's definitely worth trying out. I really like that one. My husband didn't love it, so that's just something to keep in mind. We also tried one which I think might have been limited edition, but they were donating the proceeds to help fight against shark finning. That one, I don't remember what it was called. If I remember it, I'll put it down below. But it had like a little shark fin in it, little paper shark fin, which is cute. And that one was a little bit more hydrating. I didn't quite love that one because I don't feel like it cleansed as well as the other one, and I felt it was still a little bit drying. So that one I didn't love, but I felt like it went to a good cause. And they have tons of different soaps. So I definitely want to keep kind of trying them out and find one that really works for both me and my husband. But I think it's a really cool concept, and that's like where we should be headed in terms of cosmetic and beauty, with the kind of more sustainable packaging. And of course the best way to do that is like no packaging at all, so if that's possible. If you have a store near you, I know these items are also a little pricier, so if you can afford it, it's worth checking out. Just to kind of see if you're into the products. But yeah, I just wanted to mention those things because I thought they were cool. We didn't find one that like totally worked, but I think the concept is really cool, and I want to keep trying out the soaps, and I hope they come out with like a lighter weight body lotion because I was totally buy that. Oh, the one thing though with the body lotion is because it's a solid, it gets a little slippery, and sometimes it slips out of your hands and falls onto the floor. And then you have to kind of like, I just like rinsed off with warm water or hot water just to kind of get everything off. I know it's kind of gross though. Not the most sanitary, plus you're wasting some product that way, but I still think it's worth it. Just keep that in mind that it does get a little slippery. Okay guys, that is everything. That was a lot of empties. I'm tired. I'm gonna go lay down. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss new videos, and hit the little bell notification if you want to be notified when I upload. Anyways, thank you all again. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will see you all again soon. Bye.